All right, everyone, welcome in. So this reading, it's kind of going to be a combo of, I did tap in last week, so you can check out that weekly reading. I didn't focus too much on the Pisces or the new moon in Virgo, which is a partial eclipse that is happening on the 21st, which is Sunday. So this reading is going to be a combo of kind of getting the energy of this partial eclipse, new moon, and also the week ahead, starting September 22nd. So we are going to dive in a little bit here. So that I'm going to start with the partial eclipse since that's happening first. So this is Virgo's currently in Mercury, or Mercury's in Virgo, I'm sorry. And then we have a new moon in Virgo, and it's a partial eclipse. So there's kind of a lot going on there. It's pretty big energy. The eclipses, again, we started eclipse season with the, I think that was a full moon in Pisces that started September 7th. That was a full lunar eclipse. So we started eclipse season. This is kind of continuing eclipse season. So we have a lot of intense energy. Like I talked about in the prior readings, eclipses really represent renewal, regeneration, and eclipses were really seen as an opportunity. It was like a thinning of the veil that's opening up the opportunity and potential for us to really make huge changes, huge strides forward, and to completely change the direction of our life. So, and we can see that in many ways, but really at a higher level, it is really, really positive. It's helping us to get back on our destined path. It's helping us to close out chapters that aren't for our best and highest good. And again, realigning us with the people, places, and things that are going to move us and expand us forward, which is aligned to our soul's purpose. So this people who are going to have the most significant impact to this is going to be people with placements in the late degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So you'll have to take a look at your birth chart. You can pull one up for free online. But if you look at what you have in regards to what houses and what sorry, I'm trying to think this out. Yeah, look for planets that are placed in late degrees of those signs. So if you do have placements in those, in the late degrees of those signs, really this is a significant new era of your life starting. Potentially, there could be some endings, and any endings we need to really be open to and surrender, because these are bringing in huge new beginnings and unexpected opportunities. So if we've been holding on to things, whether it's a person, place, situation, or even beliefs, that this eclipse is kind of telling us, like, we need to let this go. If you keep trying to hold on, it's going to get more challenging. But, again, this is kind of going to be the same for all of us. It's just going to be on a lighter scale. But Virgo is really all about organization, detail, service. So we're going to get that energy of really looking at the details of things in our lives, really digging into the weeds. How do we kind of bring more balance and organization to our life? And then with Mercury on that side too, this could impact our the way we communicate, the way we express ourselves. So that's something else to think about. And then the other two things I just wanted to call out. So on September 22nd, we have the Sun entering Libra. So we are moving into Libra season. And then we also have Scorpio moving into Mars, or Mars moving into Scorpio. As far as the Mars and Scorpio, Mars hasn't been in Scorpio in 2 years. Mars kind of goes through the 12 different horoscopes, and it takes 2 years for it to kind of get around to each sign once it's in a sign. So this is favorable, especially for Scorpios and also fixed signs, which are Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus as well. But you're going to really see an increase with, Mars is one of Scorpio's rulers. It's like the old ruler. The current ruler of Scorpio is Pluto, but Mars used to rule Scorpio. So those two really get along. Mars likes being in Scorpio. They kind of have, they drive and promote each other's energy in a positive way. So it's going to really, like I said, increase energy, drive, and courage. And it's going to really help us to drive change in our lives and to really feel like we're back in the driver's seat of our lives, and it's going to feel good, and we're going to have that motivation to kind of where do we want to go, and there's that energy, that turbocharge to help propel us. It's also going to help clear anything that's blocking our path, and we're just going to feel more in control. If we felt out of control, or that we've allowed other people to kind of drive our decisions or our lives, that's going to shift. So I think these are some great changes this week. And we're also going to have that energy of the new moon, settle in. The energy starts before the day and also kind of wanes. So we're going to feel it into the week ahead. So let's go ahead and pull first the oracle cards. Since it is a new moon, I'm going to pull some moonology cards just to get some of that energy of this partial eclipse and how this is going to impact us through into next week. So we have meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. Luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius, which you can probably see Jupiter is here in the reading, which Jupiter always brings good luck. So there's some good luck for the week. A new start is coming. Yes, new moon. Right on. We have the new moon. It is a new moon. And we have that, again, the eclipse energy is also about new start. So yeah, really great energy here. There may be something that pops up that's really asking us to really kind of go inside about. If you've been contemplating something, it might kind of really pop up for you and want more of your attention and focus. But I feel like whatever it is that you're contemplating, or if it's a decision or wanting to move in a direction or do something, I feel like with luck is on your side, I think it's going to be a positive thing to do. So I'm going to pull the tarot first, and then lastly, I'm going to pull one of these Gaia oracles just to get a general message around kind of what's the focus. All right, Knight of Swords. There's that really strong, fast energy coming in. The Knight of Swords is that driver. It is the knight of courage and determination. And he's flying into battle. He's, not letting his fears hold him back anymore. So that's really that energy of that Mars and Scorpio. 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, the King of Swords, and the 8 of Cups. So we have another 3. I'm going to pull that 3 of Cups, and then we have the Strength card. So definitely there's some situation that I feel like you're gaining courage to face head on here, or even if you've been holding back about moving in direction because there's maybe lack of confidence or self-esteem or uncertainty. I do feel like that's going to shift for you. There is with 2 threes here. You know, this is, especially in this deck, both of these cards have more than one person in them, and they can, you know, the 3 of Cups can reference, they both reference like connection, community, working together, or socializing. So I do feel there's this focus on some sort of coming together in collaboration. It could be coming together with friends or family, but you are working together energetically in a positive way. I feel like potentially you are working, could be working also with other people on some healing. It could be group healing, or this could be you working with different sort of energy healers or therapists or whatever to focus on some sort of personal healing matter. But I definitely feel like you're getting more clarity around a situation. You know, this could be you, the King of Swords, or this could reference somebody in that you have a connection that is this King of Swords. Typically, you know, I read the King of Swords, especially swords energy, is air energy. So that could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But you definitely are either walking away from this person, or the 8 of Cups is referencing like walking away from, you're kind of working through some emotions that, again, are tied to some sort of heartache, trauma, and you're actually doing the integration work to kind of release those and not carry those any longer. It's like baggage here. So you are working through this. You're overcoming and finding courage to face potentially something you've been carrying for a long time. But you're facing an issue in your life that I feel like you're facing it head on. You're gaining the courage to do that. And also this like not taking any shit any longer. All right. The Magician. The Empress. That's some strong energy. Page of Wands. So the Magician, Empress, very strong figures, very strong energy, empowering energy. And I feel like that you're feeling that this week. I also feel like this new moon is opening up kind of this new confidence and clarity about what you want, connecting and like building something, manifesting something, and really, you know, the Empress, a lot of times the Empress to me represents like you're growing, birthing something new. That's the energy of fertility, but not just like fertility and, you know, the human sense of having a kid or baby, but this is about you are fertile in regards to growing something new in your life, and especially with the Magician manifesting it's something. And the Page of Wands to me is like you're adventuring into new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking, and like adventuring out of your comfort zone. So I like that. Queen of Cups, 8 of Wands, 6 of Cups. So definitely something with that Scorpio and Mars energy too. You know, with this Queen of Cups, that Scorpio energy is about emotions and feelings. So with Mars, you're really starting to hone in on not just doing things to do things or take action or because other people want you to do things. You're doing things because you feel it, because you want to, you emotionally want to, your feelings, you're feeling out what you want here. And the 8 of Wands is reference to action. So then we have the Mars. So this to me is like Scorpio and Mars energy. But you are moving forward. There is something here about going towards something that feels good, sentimental, that you're nostalgic about. it could be like revisiting kind of what made you feel good in the past and creating or going, it could be traveling to somewhere from your past. This could be traveling to something tied to your childhood that's nostalgic for you, or moving with that Eight of Cups. But that Eight of Wands is about movement. So we have the King of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, and the Judgment. I mean, I really like Six of Wands and Strength is about success. The Six of Wands specifically about being successful in something that you're doing. That could be what you're contemplating here. Contemplating a move, a trip, even a relationship, or contemplating having a conversation with somebody. So we have two queens, we have an empress, and we have a king. And Judgment. So there is some sort of crossroads here and needing to like decide about what direction, something about a direction or action or movement here. I do like the Six of Wands because that's saying this is going to be successful. Let's see. Let's talk to this King of Pentacles. Ace of Swords and the High Priestess. I mean, this is really like, am I missing? Oh, we did have another king. We had a King of Swords and a King of Pentacles. So there's two queens and two kings. So this could be a couple people that's impacting a situation, a couple people at play here, a group of people. But there is some sort of truth that is going to come out. With the High Priestess as well, I feel like this is something that you just know. I think there's intuition about this situation. There's clarity coming. I think this is like real, true clarity. And it's like maybe you're trying to figure out, is this my real intuition? Is this truth? Or is this, am I feeling something else here? But I do feel like whatever your intuition is guiding you around, this is truth. You could have intuitively picked up on something around some person in your life, and then they kind of speak, or it comes out. What's with the Queen energy? And maybe there isn't. So there was two queens, but there's, or sorry, two kings, but one queen. I had that mixed up. What's with the, well, let's see. Let's talk to the Empress here. What's the Empress around? The Sun. Yeah. Happiness. I feel like you're moving into a new era of that's more happy. That's that Sun in Libra, again, it is a focus on relationships. So there could be something like a new shift in your relationships in general. Like things are looking up, you're connecting more with people. Because right, like we are beings that are based on connection. We thrive off connection. We need connection. So maybe that's more connection time coming in. What's the Eight of Wands, Six of Cups? The Hermit. And the Page of Swords. There's something about gaining confidence here. Gaining some confidence. I do feel like you've been in more of a hermit mode, contemplating, getting out, doing something, make some change in your life. And that's what came up for the Eight of Wands, Six of Cups. So there is some spiritual kind of insight coming in with the Page of Swords too. There's something that you're kind of cautious about, but you're gaining some confidence to step up and say or do. Judgment. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, there's definitely some new beginning. So you are birthing something. When I see the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles, that really means like, specifically for some of you could be getting pregnant. I mean, that's very specific. But generally that to me is just like you're about to birth something new. Something's really actually manifesting in the physical. I just want to see here. What's with the King of Swords, Eight of Cups, Page of Pentacles? Yeah. I do feel like there is definitely a lot of movement happening. You could see the value in walking away from a situation or a relationship. And you're finding the courage to do that because there is something new here, or something somewhere else you have to be. It's facing the truth to the situation and seeing the value in like making a decision, or lack of value in staying in a situation. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so really aligned with that new moon energy of like, the new moon is about what do we want to bring in? What do we want next, right? Like, what do we want to experience? What do we want in our life? And then the eclipse is about renewing. It can be about endings and new beginnings, which I do kind of see this happening here. But there is some, new direction that you're taking in your life. All right, everyone. I forgot. I was going to pull the Guy Oracle quick before I go. Let's get one last message for everyone. Harmony. Power, self-confidence, and productivity. So I'm going to just read that. The message for that one. I love these cards because they have such great messages here. So this card heralds a period of inner and outer harmony. In the coming months, you will feel an increased sense of self-confidence. We talked about that in the reading specifically, which will result in greater productivity. It is as if you have learned to harness the primal force of nature and are able to channel this energy in a powerful and meaningful way to achieve your goals. Your guiding stars are in harmonious alignment at present. This is a fortunate time for you, and this period will continue for several months. Be mindful of the power you have at present. Honor it, respect it, and use it wisely. What you learn in this time, Page of Pentacles, will help you greatly in the future. Observe your state of mind during this time, as well as your actions and how others react to you. Notice how many doors open and how previously inaccessible paths now become clear of obstacles. All you desire comes to you with little effort, all because there's harmony in your inner and outer worlds. Remember, this is the future, for it will serve you well. Or remember this in the future. I mean, literally what that said is spot on to the reading. I mean, I do feel like your fortune is changing. I feel like things are opening up. There'll be less action needed to be taken to move things forward. Or maybe you've been spinning in your wheels, like taking action, doing. And it's like things just aren't really, it's like there's a slow progression or lack thereof. But that's changing. The energy's changing. I think your action now starting is going to be more in line with, you're going to take action when you're inspired to, and you're going to have more hits, spiritually, intuitively, and mentally when it's like, oh yeah, I mean, that totally resonates with me. Or yes, I'm totally going to take action on this and I'm feeling motivated to. And any blocks, I mean, the clearing the way is the Eight of Wands and also this Eight of Cups. Like, Eight of Wands is totally clear sailing ahead. And the Eight of Cups is like clearing the path, leaving behind things that aren't serving us, and moving forward towards things that are what we really want. All right, everyone. Thanks again for joining in, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.